What is going on, everybody? And we're right into this draft. Looks like Cliffy has the 7th pick. I have the 11th pick. I see DJ Sabres in there.
Yeah, draft starts in 10, so this one's going to go quick, I guess.
Yeah, we're right into it.
We got a little bit till I pick. I guess welcome everybody to the Stochastic preseason NHL show.
Oh, Matthews first again. What are these people? Draft Matthews first.
A little bit of NHL news starting to trick. What's that?
That's a little galaxy brain, isn't it? Taking Matthews
Yeah,
over
I think it's McDavid or McKinnon. Like, I think you can go McDavid or McKinnon. One or the other's fine. Like, Matthews, I mean, maybe you're planning for a Leaf stack, or maybe it's somebody actually doing like 150 drafts and they just want to get their exposure spread around a little bit. But I mean, if I was doing any fewer than like 10 drafts and I have first pick, it's McDavid or McKinnon. All right.
How do you feel about the Canadiens captain signing a PTO with the Leafs?
Yeah, that wasn't that pleasant. I'm gonna go. I've taken Kachuk a bunch already. I'm just gonna go. I think this will be the second time taking Rantanen. I'm going Rantanen again here.
Got a $2 super chat from. I know the name. I'm coming up next. Hold on. I'll get to this in a second. Maybe my brain will start working. I'll be able to pronounce it properly. So I already did my Rangers stack. It would be ill-advised to do that again. So let's get a little bit spicy to start the draft.
Ooh, I like it. I thought spicy. You were gonna go with Jack Hughes and go with the New Jersey Devil.
It's not that crazy.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Max Pacioretty going the Leafs on a PTO. I mean, I think it's one of those PTOs like he's gonna sign, right?
Oh yeah, they just need to move some cap around right now.
Right. I think it's one of those things like, you know, maybe they're just waiting to trade Nick Robertson. Like, I think Frank Saravalli was saying like he's still likely to get traded. In fact, that's why he signed, is like just to make sure he couldn't get offer sheeted or whatever, so that they can trade him. Yeah, so Pacioretty signed. Yanni Hakanpää signed again with the Leafs. Saw in Chicago, Artem Levshunov.
He was hurt today, right?
Yeah. They don't think it's anything serious, I don't think. So it's one of those things like no need to push him in rookie camp. But F. Louis G starting with Matt Tkachuk and Jack Hughes at 12 and 13 feels like a pretty good start to the draft.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I might take the real Captain Leaf here.
Bee's knees.
Billiam. Yeah, $2 super chat from Poe DeGen Stoner. For the Red Bull and Cannabis Fund, I'm more of a Alani and cocaine fund type of guy. I'm a real adult, so.
Well, I think this will be my first share, but let's go with Mr. Roman Josi. I think this is my 7th draft, and it's my first time getting Josi in the second round. So honestly, don't know how I feel about it. I was looking at, you know, projections are starting to come out. Evolving Hockey's had theirs. We have ours at Dauber. They've been out for over a month now. The Athletic just released theirs. Like, they have, it's basically Makar and Josi in their own tier. And then you get down to Evan Bouchard, Rasmus Dahlin, and then another gap. So I feel kind of good about Yossi there. I know our boss Jake Harry is going to feel good about that, but I'm wondering, like, because Philip Forsberg's already gone. Like, I don't imagine I'll be able to take Stamkos. I don't think I'm going to be able to stack anybody with Yossi.
I mean, you can always take Ryan O'Reilly. No one takes him. I mean, he's available late, probably.
Yeah.
Man, goalies are flying right now.
Yeah, Trent Sanders. So he started with Matthews first and then goes goalie at the turn, at the 24-25 turn.
It sounds like someone who is doing 150 and they're just trying to get some interesting builds.
I don't hate the build. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about a center or a goalie probably for like 10 more picks. So you can just go nothing but wingers and defensemen from now on.
And we were talking about Europe, and then I'll get to my point that I'm sure I'll stutter through.
I mean, I've said every time, like, if Swayman's there in the third round, I'm taking him, and I'm taking Swayman.
You were mentioning how the Canucks guys' ADPs have been rocketing up, and both JT Miller and Pettersson are off the board before pick 30.
It's crazy. Like, Quinn Hughes is still there. Wondering how much longer he's going to last. But yeah, the Fantasy Oracle on Twitter, at Puck Oracle on Twitter, he was showing some ADP data basically since July, when this contest opened. And Pettersson and Miller have basically risen like nearly a full round by ADP, which, when you're considering these are guys that were going in the top 40, 45 anyway, like, that's a lot. It's not like these guys are going in the 10th round and now it's the 9th. It's like these guys were going mid 4th, early 4th. Now they're going late 2nd, early 3rd. You know what I mean?
And now I'm reaping the benefits by getting Bedard.
And like, I love JT Miller. I love Elias Pettersson, but I would way rather have Bedard at 35 than Pettersson at 28. I mean, it's not that bad, but like, I'm pretty high on Bedard this year. So if I can get Bedard like at the back end of the 3rd round, like, I'm pretty good with that.
I want to take Sorokin here, but like, I have a lot already, and that report, that non-report, could be something with him.
There's Jack Eichel at 37 is interesting. That feels like a lot earlier than the last time we drafted.
Yeah, I feel like Jack Eichel went like in the 8th or 9th round the last time. I still want Sorokin. I just don't care. I had big lots. Man, I'm a giant eagle guy myself.
This is probably too early to take him, but I want some Tage in my life.
It's not too early.
I mean, I just feel like if he has a really good year, he'll basically pay off a 42 overall ADP. You know what I mean? But I don't think he was going to make it back to me if I didn't take him there. It's kind of my thing.
Man, I like Quinn Hughes as a player. Don't get me wrong, but like, he is a guy that I do not want to have a lot of in best ball, just because he doesn't shoot the puck, he doesn't block the puck,
he doesn't hit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm actually writing about that for Dauber over at Dauber Hockey tomorrow. In standard Yahoo leagues, don't include hits. and it's season long, so it's a little bit different. But standard Yahoo leagues, which don't include hits, and he doesn't hit, he'll put up like 25 to 30 hits in a season. He was the number 4 defenseman, and he's basically being drafted as a number 5 defenseman in leagues that have hits. Like I just don't get it. Like he legit needs over 100 points.
Yeah.
Markstrom, Georgiev. Goalies are flying. That's what? 12 goalies in the first.
I should have taken Markstrom. Because if Sorokin's hurt, I'm kind of in a weird spot. Goalie's the one position you can't really punt. You have to get like at least two competent goalies.
Well, welcome to the team, Mr. Svechnikov. That's like I said, I'll take Swayman anytime I can get him in the 3rd round. Anytime I can get Svechnikov in the 5th round, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
Like he's just one of those guys, like eventually it's all going to come together. Rod's going to finally play him 19, 20 minutes a game. It's just going to happen. I just hope it's this year. Jordan Kyrou is interesting. Like I think we talked about him last week on the show, but like things didn't go well for him last year, and he still had 31 goals and 36 assists. Yeah. Like that's a 31 and 36, and that was with over 3 shots per game, and that was a down year.
So you like Svechnikov? I'm gonna get some Jarvis in my life.
You dickhead. Fuck.
They're not going to play together.
Well, power play.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, wow, I'm up again? How did that even happen? Tippett then Slavkovsky.
That's a pretty good 60-61 turn.
If I took, I just... all right, let's build a little Carolina stack.
You dickhead! See, this is how people can tell we're not colluding, because you're just fucking me over. Noah Dobbs is also interesting. That's another guy I'm writing about. I took him last week. I'm just not super sure I'm taking UPL here. I like Dobson as a player. What worries me is when they got healthy, he was like 22 to 23 minutes, not like 25 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's what I worry about, is that he plays 23 or like 22-40 a game or something, and not 25-10 like he did for 50 games last year.
Whoa. We got an Islanders fan in here? You an Islanders fan, Mark? Do we have an actual Islanders fan in the Wild right now? This would be a breaking development if... Oh, you're a Rangers fan. Then why are you talking up the Islanders? It's like against the code. Man, I just found out next year's All-Star game's in Long Island.
Next year.
Or is it this year?
Isn't it
the Olympics? Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mark brings up here. I'll bring up, who is it? DJ. So yeah, he has Barzal 57th and Noah Dobson is 64. I'm not that high on the Islanders as a team. Like it's one of those things. Like I think Waugh can make them a better team. I just don't know if they'll be better for fantasy. You know what I mean?
Barzal's so good though.
Yeah.
It's just he never has help.
I mean, maybe Duclair. I mean, him and Duclair should be able to play pretty fast together. You'd think. Well, all day raid still doesn't have a goalie going in around 8. I like that. All right, let's get this Buffalo stack rolling. I think Alex Tuch is my second most drafted player so far in these best balls, and I honestly don't know why. Like he rates well, but it's not like some guy I have super undervalued. I don't know.
He's just good.
In Lindy Ruff, we trust, maybe?
That's a sounds like you're digging a 7-foot hole or an 8-foot hole with a 7-foot ladder.
Isn't it an 8-foot hole with a 7-foot ladder?
Yeah.
Or else there's just plenty.
Otherwise, you can just get out.
Or else there's just plenty of room to get out.
That's why I'm here.
See, Adam Fox 82nd, like Adam Fox 82nd, or like Quinn Hughes as the number 5 defenseman.
Oh, Adam Fox all day.
Yeah, I'd rather have Fox, even if he gets like 15 fewer points. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's my first Lafreniere.
Of course.
If he got consistent power play one time, which he's not going to get.
That's the thing is I've seen some projections on him like 70 points and over, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Who's he replacing on the power play? Like he's not taking Kreider's spot.
Like the best case scenario is he takes Trocheck's, right?
Yeah, but that's in the bumper, and he's not a bumper player on the power play.
Not really. I mean, maybe they could. Maybe they're just waiting until they sign him long term before he starts putting up huge point totals.
Probably. Let's see here. What do I do? We'll get some more bath time.
All right, I'll wait till after my pick.
DJ Mitchell with the if you're going off potential, sure. My parents told me I had a lot of potential, and here I am drafting best ball on a Thursday night. So it's Wednesday too. See.
I'll bring up a schedule real quick. I was talking to you about schedules. This is the best ball schedule that I grabbed from Dobber Hockey for Underdog. One reason I'm in on Buffalo is they play the second most games with 21. Now, a bunch of them are away games, and there are some back-to-backs. So, like, you know, UPL might only start like 15 or 16 out of those 21, but they do get 21 games. LA has the most of 22. But that's just another reason why I do like stacking the Sabres this year. Good, like really good best ball schedule. I think Lindy Ruff is going to have him playing a lot faster. They're not going to be as bad as they were last year, especially with a revamped power play. Like, I don't know. Feel like Lucy with the football is like 3 years in a row now where I'm like, this is the year for the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, it feels like those years in the 90s when everyone's like, no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, and they just kept losing. But, like, yeah, eventually. How dare someone take Trocheck and it's not me?
Yeah, I think Trocheck, 95th overall, is a really, really nice pick. I have him basically neck and neck with Barzal. And like guys with like Barzal, Aho, kind of like in that tier.
It's like he was on the best 5-on-5 scoring line, and he gets power play one time. So, like, he's not a huge goal scorer. He's not a huge assist guy, but, like, he's going to put up consistent numbers.
Man, he played like 21 and a half minutes per game last year. I don't know if he's going to play that again, but even like 20 to 21 minutes is a ton.
I think he'll play less if Hedl can stay healthy and they can actually roll 3 lines. But
welcome aboard, Zach Werenski. I think he's my most drafted defenseman.
I knew you were going to take him because now that's a little karma. But you always take Werenski. There.
Mitchkoff at 104. I think that's the second time we've seen him go just outside the top 100 picks.
That's a good gamble there.
Yeah, I think that's the right spot.
Yeah,
because if he just has like just like for a rookie, but just has a 30-30 season, like he easily pays that off.
Sweet. I was going to take Ingram. Good stuff. What do we do? Now I got to pivot. I like Kochetkov. It's just like, is he going to get the lion's share of the starts?
I mean, I think he does. I think, but it's not going to be like 58 starts. It might be like 49 or something like that. But yeah, I do think he does.
Like, is Cam Talbot really going to be the starter in Detroit?
They have 4 goalies.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's going to get the first crack at being a starter. Whether he's the starter on October 8th, just like he is on April 8th, I think that's another question entirely. But I think on October 8th, he'll be the starter. Or 9th, or whenever their season actually kicks off.
I'll get my first share of this fella.
McAvoy's interesting, man. Like, he definitely starting on the power play this year, obviously. I'm not entirely convinced that Mason Lowry doesn't take over eventually.
He had an awful playoffs for whatever reason, McAvoy. I mean, the whole team did, really. Like, the Leafs took him to 7. That's embarrassing.
DJ Sabres taking Hagel. Hagel's the guy I'm going to write about again. Man, you want to talk about a guy that needs top power play time?
He was like Carter for Hagee from a few years ago.
Yeah, Hagel could be honestly like a 35-goal, 90-point winger if he just had the spot that Nick Paul has.
I like John Cooper as a coach, but like, come on.
Jared McCann. Jared McCann's an interesting. I'm kind of interested in Seattle this year. I just want to see what Bilesman does with them because, like, McCann playing 16 and a half minutes is a joke.
Cliff, like, stealing my My ex-wife jokes there. That was a good one.
Thank you. Oh, I thought Paterka might make it back to me. That's a shame.
I didn't take him because I was like, Buffalo stack, Harry sniped.
I honestly thought he was going to make it back to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Like in a vacuum, I'd rather have Byfield. So. Oh, did we see Edmonton had some informal lines the other day?
Did they?
And it was I think the top line was RNH, Hyman, McDavid, and then Arvidsson, Draisaitl, Skinner on the second line. That's it. That's interesting.
Why Nugent Hopkins on the top line? He doesn't play with McDavid. Well, what can you do?
Welcome to the team, Mr. Line.
That's a good gamble there too, because he could be a 50-goal scorer if he really wanted to be.
He's one of those guys. Even if he misses like 6 weeks in December and January, like you just need him healthy in February, March in this format. Bo Horvat 129. Josh is pissed.
Kind of. No, not really. No, I'm gonna add to my Bedard stack here. Little Seth Jones.
I like that. Like there are some late defensemen that I really like Sergachev. We've talked about before. I do like Seth Jones. Who else went? Like I like John Carlson too. Like I know he's old or whatever. I know the whole team's old, but he's going to play a lot of minutes on the top power play unit. You know what I mean? Like just having the role means something. And the guy blocks a ton of shots. Like he's been over 2 blocks per game across the last 3 years. And blocks are as important as shots in this format.
Yeah. Got a little Gabe. Big Gabe guy.
He's just got to stay healthy.
Yep.
Now, DJ with Mr. Genter talked about him on Twitter earlier today.
And now he's saying Barzal, Dobson, Horvat, the Islanders haters. No one hates the Islanders. The Islanders don't have fans. You can't hate. It's the fans that most people hate. Put it on the board. Yes. Goalie's a mess right now. Sponsored by Pepsi.
I'm going to grab my third one just in case. Just because I think there are a bunch of wingers that I like that I could get in a little bit. Elias Lindholm at 140 is interesting. Like we talked before, like, no, I'm not a huge fan of Elias Lindholm, but he does block shots for a forward. Like he had over 60 last year. He had 50 each of the prior 2 seasons. He's over 2 shots per game. He's probably going to play close to 20 minutes on the top line.
Yeah.
Like just by it. It's almost he's almost like the John Carlson of forwards, you know what I mean? Just by virtue of where he's going to play, the minutes he's going to get, Some of the peripherals he can put up, like you might not like the player, but he's just in a situation to thrive. And I don't like the player.
Yeah, I don't like the player either, but it's in a good spot. Contract is awful, but what are you going to do? You don't need the contract for best ball.
Landeskog 146. That's got to be the earliest we've seen him go.
I mean, I've come around on the gamble. I understand the gamble. I just have a hard time believing he's going to be healthy ever again to get back to his level.
Well, screw it. Well,
you have your guys and you stick to it.
Well, I was thinking about taking Cousins there, but how many weeks realistically are him and Tage going to be higher scorers than all but two of my wingers, right? It's like if Cousins was a winger, I would have taken him there. But having both him and Tage, I don't think makes a ton of sense in this format where you only count one center a week. Maybe two if one slides in your utility.
155 seems like a good spot to take this fella.
Mr. Celebrini staying with Big Jumbo Joe. Imagine that, getting to the NHL and you're like, well, you're going to stay with Joe Thornton for a year.
You know what that's probably like? That scene in So Zach and Mary Make a Porno when he comes back to the apartment and Jay walks out of his apartment naked.
Yeah. Yeah, I know which scene you mean. I also think, just in real terms, I think it's a good idea if you have a young cornerstone player like that to put him with a veteran for a year. Kind of keep him under control a little bit. Like, imagine being a multi-millionaire, 19-year-old in California. Like, you could get you could get into some pretty bad habits, I think.
Maybe eat some dogs and cats, who knows? I almost made it. I had to say.
You said it, not me. I think Adam Fantilli is going to be my most drafted player this year. I think. Because I think he's on 6 out of 7 of my rosters now.
I know Leo Carlson's going to be good. I watched him play, and I was like, oh, shit, I was wrong about the Ducks taking him second. But, the Ducks should have taken Fantilli second.
That's going to be fascinating to watch for a long time. Because I could see that, them both be, equal value players to their teams while being completely different types of players. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Logan Stankoven, 171. We talked about this last week. I'm still not sold on Wyatt Johnson going to the top line. It might be Stankoven.
Yeah. He's a really good passer, so it wouldn't shock me. It's not going to be Marchment.
No, I think they're going to leave that Sagan, Marchment, whatever line together as much as they can, and then move Stankoven up. Maybe move.
They really want Wyatt to play center.
which I think is pretty understandable.
But don't they have another young kid too?
Maverick Bork.
Yeah, Maverick Bork might end up on that third line instead of him on the top line.
Well, put him with Mr. Byfield. Again, like looking at that schedule, Los Angeles plays the most games in the head-to-head playoffs. So
and Doughty never leaves the ice. So,
and they really, really do not seem intent on giving Jordan Spence or Brant Clark a significant role on that team. So
that front office is one of the worst front offices in the league.
It's not good. Justin Falk right after. That was the guy that I was thinking of taking instead. If I hadn't taken Byfield earlier, I probably would have taken Falk there. Just he's going to have to play so much, and I think that includes top power play. I think Bunting's a great pick too. Like I think he's going to end up top power play. I really do. I was looking after the trade last year to Pittsburgh. He had the second most power play time per game of any other forwards. Only Crosby had more. Like he had more than Malkin. He had more than Rust on a per game basis.
Hey, he took the Jake Gensel role. Victor Olofsson. Hell yeah. Swinging for the fences in the last round.
I was hoping to get Quinn.
Let's go with a little Celebrini Eklund stack.
I mean, it could pay off.
It's a concept of an idea.
All right, well, screw you then. I'm taking Tyler Bertuzzi.
I was going to take him, but I was like,
Good. Not anymore, you're not.
No one took Josh Norris.
I mean, Logan Cooley being there is still interesting.
Beniers, McTavish are still out there. Vinny Dunn, Brady Shea, Dan Vladar.
I mean, Tyson Forster, I've written about this a couple times. Like, he's a rookie who earned Tortorella's trust, right? And he had over 100 hits and over 2 shots per game last year as a rookie.
It's almost impossible to gain Torts' trust as a rookie.
Right. And he did it. And they don't, like, other than Owen Tippett, they don't really have a ton of left wingers. I know he shoots right but plays left, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
All right.
The team is projected for the least amount of points. We do love to see it.
All right, so this is a draft board. Let's bring this up. 6th overall is probably the highest we've seen Draisaitl go, I think, because usually you see Rantanen, Kaprizov, Tkachuk. At least 2 of those guys go ahead of him.
It makes sense, though. I mean, like, he's on that ridiculous power play, so.
We saw, 6 goalies in the first 3 rounds? 9 goalies in the first 4 rounds? That's a lot.
I kind of like my team, actually, which means it's going to be awful, so.
All right, well, let's pull up your team here. Bedard, Aho, Celebrini. Nylander, Jarvis to go with Aho. Lafreniere, Batherson. I like the Batherson pick. I think he's being kind of undervalued a little bit.
Well,
Velarde.
as long as they figure out their power play.
Yeah, that too. Velarde, again, just needs to stay healthy. One thing I think is a really good value pick. Makar, McAvoy, Jones. Like, that's a really good decor, too. Sorokin, Kochetkov, Askarov. That's the second time you've taken Askarov, isn't it?
Yeah. Little San Jose stack for the
Carolina, Chicago, San Jose. I don't mind that, actually.
It's just like if you just keep drafting the good teams, someone's got to draft. Like, people on bad teams have got to score, so they say.
Well, I mean, they usually do have to.
The thing is, like we talked about earlier, Bedard going 35th after JT Miller. He shouldn't be going after JT Miller.
Like not like a full round later, or was it close to it? Like he went almost a full round after Pedersen.
But this is Bedard we're talking about.
Yeah.
I paired a little Seth Jones with him.
So my team, Thompson, Johnson, Fantilli centers, 2-man stack with Tuck and Thompson, 3-man stack with Marchenko, Fantilli, and Werenski, 2-man stack with Doughty and Byfield. Again, that playoff schedule, LA most games, Buffalo tied for the second most. And the thing is, 14 out of those 22 games for the Kings are at home. Like,
which is big because they're in the left coast, so
yeah,
West Coast teams have to do some pretty heavy traveling.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of that. I don't love my defenseman. I mean, presumably everything rides on Yossi anyway, so if he gets hurt, I think it might be boned. But Werenski, he gets hurt a lot. Doughty's getting old. Like,
yeah, but like these guys play like 26, 27 minutes a night. Top power play.
Yeah, I really do like my team. Didn't get a ton of value on a lot of guys, but I think I got good value on Svechnikov, Swayman, Werenski, Byfield, Line, and Fantilli. So I'm good with it. Let's see what else we have here. We have, how did DJ do? Kachuk, Robertson, Ottinger, Meyer, Barzal. So 4 out of his first 5 picks were wingers. Didn't take a goalie until the 7th round. He has Kemper and Urson as his 2 goalies.
That's gonna be a problem, Bob.
I do love the skaters. I would be nervous about those goalies. It's one of those things, like, I like each of the goalies. I would want to have one of them. Having both as my only goalies, like, I don't mind it. Like, I'm not sold Urson's even going to be the starter. I know they said they like him.
I don't think Kemper's going to be the starter.
Well, it's just they're paying him money, I guess. Oh yeah, he has Ottinger too. Yeah, skip that. I guess that makes it a lot more palatable. Yeah, good point. So he has Ottinger, Kemper, and Urson. That makes a lot more sense.
That's less of a problem, Bob.
Yeah.
Ottinger, man, there is not one player that we get shit on more in our Discord than Jake Ottinger.
Jake Ottinger, 100%.
Every show we're like, Jake Ottinger in a great spot. He's 7,800. And then he goes like 9 for 17 or 9 for 14 in the first period. And we just get lit up like a Christmas tree. Like, he's legitimately one of the best goalies in the NFL or NHL.
I like what Stoned Buck did. No goalies for the first 5 rounds, and then Binnington, Ingram, and Decord, 3 of his next 5 picks. And he has a heavy Rangers stack to go with it. Panarin. He has Panarin, Kreider, Zibanejad, and Fox. I don't mind that draft.
I mean, their power play is dynamic, except for like the 3 weeks of the season where it always disappears, and then the coach is like, let's put Jimmy Vesey on the top power play unit, and then it falls apart for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Thatcher Demko, I think that's the latest. Demko's gone. But it's one of those things, like, if he can be back healthy by like Halloween or like even a week after that, like, it's perfectly fine. Well, another draft in the books. That one was quicker because we started pretty much as soon as we got on the air. I feel good about my team, but I think I felt good about all but one of my teams. So it's not really saying a lot.
I mean, one of the second week we drafted, my team was terrible. I had that's when I auto picked, and I have like 8 centers. I would join the next draft, but man, I'm already falling asleep.
Yeah, I'm completely loopy. I just haven't felt good all week. So next week we'll be back, same time, same place. Training camp starts next week, but I don't think it's till like next Thursday or Friday. So there should be some updates between now and then. There just won't be a ton until the week after that.
Got the playoff hockey beard going a little early in the season. Might well just let it flow. You flowed out some Radko Gudas beard out until the end of the season last year. I might as well just. I'm gonna end up looking like Luke Combs, but it's all right.
Yeah, I did the reverse playoff beard last year. I just grew out my beard right until our last show and then shaved it. I think we're gonna do that again.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it with you. Maybe my wife will come off her third child request if I have a really gnarly beard.
just don't stop shaving until yeah. All right.
Yeah. We hopped right into it. We're done now. We'll be back next Wednesday. I got the day correct now. Again, you want to join us in the draft? I think people are catching on that we're doing this at 8:00 because as soon as we hopped in the lobby, it started. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. The season will be 1 week closer, and then you're going to start seeing our candy asses a lot more.
Yep. Until
talking
next
about
week.
How good Jake Ottinger is.
We can only do that until the season starts.
It's true. All right. Stop shaving. Yeah, I'm not shaving. I'm boycotting razors until April, or I become like a multi-billionaire. There'll be signs. You'll have to guess. But we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, and I'm kind of excited for the start of the season now.
We're getting there. See everyone next week.
Yep.